Ah, hi guys. Can we see it? Yeah, we can. All right, good. Make sure Andy can see it. Beard looks good. All right, there we go. State of the Union. What's up, guys? Andy's late. Who would have guessed? Hopefully he's in the light tonight. Hi, Emily. Oh, what's up, friends? Where's Andy? Oh, hi from upstairs. Andy's gonna make me talk by myself. That's not good. I could get. There we go. You don't want me to just ramble. Accept. Do I gotta accept you? Again? Hi, pal.
Hey, buddy.
How we doing?
We're good.
Yeah. How was your meeting?
It's good. First day of practice.
Oh.
We got a lot to go over.
What? How's the first day practice? What's that meeting look like?
Basic stuff. Like,
Yeah.
basic stuff. I mean, we didn't do butt Ds and stuff like that today, so kind of went over that. Went over butt Ds. Went over signs. Kind of the whole.
Oh, like legit, like
what to
yeah, first day stuff.
Because they got here Thursday, but we were at convention, so we haven't really been able to meet with them. They've just been kind of doing their thing. So.
But you haven't seen those kids for
December 15th. So.
Oh, okay. So just Christmas break.
Yeah. We had two
okay.
new dudes.
Okay.
Two guys that haven't been here yet. So.
Will they help? Will they contribute?
Yeah, one of them's a Jersey kid.
Ooh, Jersey. There we go. We play good baseball.
That's what they say.
We play good baseball.
Speaking in Jersey, I'm walking into Wawa, so carry
of
the
course
conversation for 10 seconds.
I got it. Thanks, pal. Oh, Jesus. What the fuck is going on in Florida? Biceps good. Thanks, Lloyd. And Amanda. Surgery went well. Doc said it didn't roll up that bad, which is nice. So it was caught down in the elbow. So there was just one little incision, and they reattached both heads, and we should be good. Follow-ups next Thursday, and then I think I'm out of this thing and into one of those JJ Watt arm braces. So that'll be cool, I guess. I can use my arm at that point because this really blows. But besides that, we're just hanging out. I'm actually listening to the doctor. I'm not training at all for the 2 weeks that I'm in the sling. We're going to listen. Everyone yelled at me, told me that I had to listen this time, so I'm going to listen. All right. As soon as the sling comes off, it's fair game. All right. But yeah, we should be good. And then, then it's just start PT. I have a plan lined out. I got people that I'm working with. Peptides will be yes, I'm actually listening. I'm going to listen this time. Peptides are going to be used. If you don't know what those are, you should. If you don't, do your research. Okay? But definitely, if you're banged up, that's definitely something to look into. But yeah, I figured after all the shit that happened the last time, it was probably a smart thing to yes, I'm gonna listen. Everyone, cut the shit. I am gonna listen. It can't be any worse than the last time. So, but yeah, I'm excited to obviously get this off. But a nice little break hasn't been the worst thing in the entire world. So, don't think that just because you're not training, you're not. Andy's not even in his truck. Yeah, I lost Andy.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about me actually listening to the doctors this time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
If we could avoid sepsis, that would be good.
I thought that was you were aiming for that the last time. I was wrong. I kind of like golf was not the higher score. So
yeah,
miscommunication there.
Well, you'll live.
That's fine. This time we did. Thank you, friend. Appreciate it. All right.
Questions?
So wait, hold on. Before we get into questions.
Oh yeah.
This is the State of the Union. We are sponsored by Wicked Wolf Beer Co., BCB Training Systems, and Go Hard Barbell. Don't forget it. Yes, questions. Ooh, you got some light. Is that police lights?
Ambulance,
okay. Same thing. First question was, why are there so many high squats as of late?
In our DMs?
It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but I think it's ridiculous.
So my thing with this is like, I'll let you probably have an opinion. I don't know if I have an opinion, but like my deal's like, we're trying to fight this battle against what raw people consider to be integrity, and you guys are squatting higher than high.
Higher than high. Not even close to being like relatively close.
Give us a fighting chance, people. Like, and I watch it, and like, you're not even fighting for depth.
No.
It's hamstring parallel, and like the second that the LUP tightens up, you're standing up.
But that's not even the worst. That's not even the worst part. There's people setting up boxes like 9 inches high.
Well, and then there's people standing up on 2. Like, at least say up.
There's also people getting an up call, which should be a 3 count.
That was in our DM the other day.
I know that his handler gave him an up at 3.
Yeah.
So I agree, and exactly how you started it. We are fighting these raw assholes with
I don't think we need to get into name calling.
They're assholes.
They don't understand what it is.
Okay,
it's
fine.
Lighter, it's slower.
Fine.
It's easier to see.
I'll be nice.
Yeah.
Fine. 2023, I'm being nice. Okay. We're fighting that battle, saying how, trying to be more legit. We're trying to get bigger meets. We want to get sponsors, and we want to be in the Olympics. Okay. But then you got people squatting to a 7-inch high box, getting an up call at 3. You're not helping. And I could somewhat agree if it was the first time you put the pair of briefs on. If it was the first time you ever wore the briefs, fresh out of the bag, freshly sent to you, they've never been worn before, you're breaking them in. Okay, I get it. But you are in your gear briefs that you've been using for the last 6 months, and you're not even close to hip parallel, let alone below, which I'm not even saying you need to get. Just get somewhat close for the camera. You guys are. It's not even in the time zone. Some of the squats that get sent in the DMs. It's ridiculous.
No, and who's passing these squats?
No one. That's what I'm saying. These squats aren't even happening in meets, right? No one's really.
Some of them are.
No one's really. It's some of them, yeah. But I'm talking about like egregiously high, like training squats. See, I get it's training, but still, what? It's not gonna. It's not just gonna be there on meet day.
It's not. It is not like if you're taking box squats and you're not intentionally squatting high because of an injury or because of something, and you don't put a camera up and see where you're at when you sit on the box, then you should probably do that.
Like, how is that not the first thing that you are doing? Put a camera to the side. Make sure that in your squat, your geared squat stance, not shoulder width apart where you just
you're close.
That you're somewhat close.
You're close. And I don't agree. And this is my thing. Like, you don't need to be below parallel in briefs because that's how you get hurt. But you got.
No, I'm not saying.
Be close enough
I'm not saying anywhere close to being below parallel. If somebody set me up in a below parallel box, I'd be upset.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm saying that you got people setting up their boxes 5 inches high, let alone, like you said, pushing back, and as soon as the briefs bind up, reversing squats. Right? Like, I'm sorry, but
good.
You gotta help us out a little bit. It's not good. It's not good. You're
not.
And
every
I promise.
Every time that hits, whatever positive or bullshit or whatever positive or like spam multiply page, like that sets us back. That sets the sport back because people just assume that that's what we're doing. And
here's the thing.
I don't advocate. I'm totally against turning down like giving squats back. I'm totally against it.
No, we're on the same page there.
It's
gotta be close. And I'm not saying that I'm the deepest squatter in the world, because I'm not, okay? But it's close. And it looks okay for the camera. And it looks okay for the people who aren't at the meet that are gonna have an opinion on it. You gotta help yourself out, you gotta help everyone out, because you are doing a disservice. And you look fucking stupid.
If you just
you
hop
look
in the
stupid.
sport because you want to squat high, like if you're not comfortable getting down there, then get looser gear or go back to raw.
Get stronger. Do something different. But like these just egregiously high squats where you're not even trying to push depth. There's not even a strain.
Nah, you got to give yourself a chance.
You got to give yourself a chance.
To answer the question, I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But it's not
because it's hard. Because it's more difficult to squat lower. That's why. That's why.
If you're getting taps up there, you let me know where these meets are, though.
Please. But
if
still,
if you're getting taps up there, I'll pull up.
Squat 13. Fuck. We'll just skip the whole 12. Like, what are we doing?
But I'll squat a G.
But it just, and it's not like these. I'm not kidding. Like Andy and myself, we send each other high squat videos. Mike and myself, we send each other high squat videos. This is not. It's not a once-off thing. It's not a once every 2 week, once every 3 week type deal. It's every other day that people have their max effort days, and it's just more high squats and more high box squats. I just don't know what we're doing. I just don't understand.
Yeah, the other thing too is like a lot of you people are sawed off, so you literally move the bar like 6 inches. Like I can move the bar 3.5 feet and still look high. You guys are like sawed off.
That means short. Short.
Yeah. Yes, you do, Dave.
Yeah.
You guys are like some of you guys' femurs are like 6 inches long, and you just like, I don't know, man.
It's not good. It's not good. You got to have somebody look at your stuff. If you're not videotaping your squats mid-workout and evaluating in some way, shape, or form, then what are you doing? I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense
Yeah.
to me. How is there not? I'm not saying, and I'm not a proponent of there being 75 fucking cameras posted up and there be a video crew for you trying to squat 650 pounds. And that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, how is there not at least one video camera somewhere set up to see technique?
The great thing about box squatting is if you set up the box at the same height every time you squat, it's always going to be there.
Always going to be there. Agreed. But there's people that aren't even looking at their box heights.
Nah, it's no good. It's no good.
Here's the bigger issue. If you are looking at your stuff and you're seeing what you're doing and you're not seeing that it's a problem, that's the bigger issue up here.
Agreed.
That's the bigger overlying issue. That if you're watching your stuff, you're saying, "Oh man, that looks good." That where's the disconnect?
Yeah, and like I definitely agree that angles play a role, but
100%.
Some of those angles are good angles for you, or you got really bad angles.
Pick a better angle. I don't know. Find an angle that works in your favor in some way, shape, or form. But guys,
mark this down as the first time in State of the Union history we've argued to squat deeper.
Yes. It's been that bad in the DMs back and forth between the three of us that everyone's multiply squats need to get a little bit deeper.
Be better, do better.
Be better, do better. It is ruled.
All right, we're close to kickoff. Let's answer the second question.
The second question was, why plan deloads if you do everything based by feel? And I guess that was more geared or pointed at me because I do our.
That's a good question. I'm interested to hear your answer. Whoever asked that. Who asked that question?
We can't disclose that.
Okay.
It's secret. Stays anonymous, guys. I promise. Just in case anyone wants to get a little. Reason being is that I found, me personally, just through years of training and years of programming people, that
reason being is he's an idiot.
Who?
And he's self-destructive.
Oh, me? Yeah.
Next question.
No, the reason is because there were points in my career and in my coaching career that I didn't program myself the same way that I programmed other people, right? So I would do something totally, like you said, self-destructive, and I would program something more on the safer, more conservative side for my lifters. That still holds true, but I've also tried it the other way, and I feel like that may be something that is coming back. But I digress. The reason that I found why I feel like every fourth week works is because I feel that if it was every third week, that's not enough to build. I don't think only 2 weeks of building is enough. I feel like that third week is where you're really making, in my opinion, your biggest gains, and not with the Z, with an S.
What about with two Z's and one of them's lowercase and the other's uppercase?
No, not those gains. Different gains. Gains. Real ones. Real gains. And so I felt that 3 was too short, but that 5 was too long. And the times that I tried to do 5 weeks, I found myself getting really beat down in that 4th week.
Well, the body runs in 21-day cycles, to quote the late, great Louis Simmons, which means you're going to get your gains in 21-day cycles. So for those of you math majors, that would be 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then the 4th week, you downshift. So it's a very West Side thing to do. It's also a very 1020 Life thing to do. If you haven't listened to the last episode, you'd get a lot about Chris's programming with regards to that. But yeah, the body does run in 21-day cycles. That's why all the West Side waves are set up on 3-week waves. And that's kind of how that situation works. So, and but a big thing for you is the anecdotal evidence has shown that that's where you have the most success.
Yes. I mean, that's kind of what I was getting at when I started. Is it wasn't that I just took out of thin air that it has to be every 4th week, and that's religion, and that's the way that it has to be. Because at first, when early on in my career, it wasn't a deload every fourth week. And then coming back from injury, initially I was deloading every third week because I didn't want to get fucked up again. Yeah. Right. So that's where I'm saying I've tried different time periods, and I've always come back to it being that every fourth week is a good spot for it. And then the second part of the question was, what do you do for those deloads? And my biggest thing is deloads are all accessory work, right? There's no barbell movements
still
during my deload weeks. Still train hard. You're still training hard. Like, you're still pushing your accessory work to an 8-9. But you're using dumbbells. You're using bodyweight stuff. You're using bands. Lots of reps, a lot of volume, a lot of sets, a little bit of rest. And if, and my clients can speak for this too, but as of late, I've been putting a lot more movement in my deload days. So farmer's carry, sled walks, sled drags, lighter prowler pushes for time, things like that, where you're still lifting. It's not as taxing. There's a lot less intensity. There's a lot more volume, and you're getting your GPP up a little bit more.
Yep. I like it.
And I know your deloads are very similar as well.
Yeah. I plan them usually 5 weeks out from a meet, and that's my deload. So I'm looking forward to the next one. But see, the problem with that conversation is that that's a misnomer. Because
I don't know what that means.
I do.
What's misnomer?
Like, I will.
Anyone.
I will like let's say I go in the gym next Sunday, or let's say in a month I go in the gym, and I just I don't feel it. I don't feel great, and that day I plan on taking this. I'm gonna do this specific variation, and I don't think I can hit a PR on that variation. Then I'm gonna pick a variation, and I'm gonna hit something at an 8 or a 9 that's not going to kill me, and I'm going to shut it down and move forward. So it's not, it's not true max effort, but it's not a deload, and that's kind of how I run it. And then if I don't feel great, I'll go drag the sled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I probably need to do that less often than you, but more often than me. Like, I probably need to take a deload every 6 or 8 weeks if I could.
Yes. The fact that you don't is crazy. It's crazy to me. Like, actually true deload. But yeah, but again, it's more of a
I don't like deload.
Yeah, I know you don't. No, a lot of people don't. But there is proof that there will be in my opinion, a longer workup for a longer period of time.
I definitely think there's So the thing about it is, there's a way, there is a way to kind of work around it. It's not, I don't just when I say I don't deload, I don't want people to believe that I just throw caution to the wind and do a bunch of crazy shit, because that's not what I do.
Right.
But I do, I take account, I account for certain things.
Yeah,
of course. Not always.
Just not always.
I just like to have a bar on my back and a bar in my hands every week when I get a chance.
Oh, no. That hurts my elbows thinking about it. Oof. It hurts my elbows even more now. All right. We're not going to have time for our third question. I don't think anyone's really going to mind. We will take one audience question. Yes. One audience question. Quick one. Who's got it? First one. Oh, Fitbuck Cincy.
There she is.
We got to fix this. No one wants it. No one wants to ask anything.
Quickly. Going once. What's the score? Georgia 7-0.
Is it? 7-0?
All right, Emily, ask a question.
Quick one.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Emily, you're not typing fast enough. Opinions off season. Oh, That's a
Thank you
long
for your
one.
question, Emily. I'll
Thanks.
make it quick.
Okay. Me personally, I don't have an off season. Can you suck? Oh, that's not. You can. You
This
can,
is a
John.
clean. This is a clean podcast,
Clean
John.
programming, though. Clean programming. I don't believe in off seasons. I don't believe that if you're a multiply lifter, you should be, out of your gear, training raw only. I believe that's where it leads to injury. I don't necessarily think that's going to make you the strongest in the long term. That doesn't mean I don't believe in raw training. I do lots of it. What I'm saying is I don't think that you need to give or devote an entire chunk of your programming or of your training multiple weeks in a row towards your raw strength if you are a geared lifter.
But you train raw stuff every week.
I
so
train
your
raw.
thing is you don't.
Yeah, I train raw stuff. I train raw before I put my briefs on the squat, before I put my shirt on the bench, and before I put my briefs on the deadlift. But I'm not going to do just a raw cycle. I don't see a benefit.
Okay. So you got anything else?
No.
So for me, what off season looks like for me and my clients is it's going to be more geared towards weaknesses. Training is always geared towards weaknesses, but like it's going to be more geared towards seeing things, bringing up certain things. Like we do a lot of deficit pulling in the off season. When we get closer to regular scheduled meet stuff, I don't do as much deficit deadlifting because I think you can get injured that way. But we do a lot of we do speed. Our speed pulls are going to be deficit in the off season. Number two, we're going to do reps for bench with no AR. So I'll run a close grip cycle. I'll run a wide grip cycle. I'll run like a bow bar cycle, or like a McDonald bar cycle. So that'll account for 10 or 12 weeks where we're really trying to work that bottom end of a raw bench. And then we might get into more of a speed bench as we get closer to the meet. I'm going to keep the reps higher. So like my accessory work is going to, so like if on speed day, I'm doing 12 to 15, it's going to be on the 15 range. On my, as we get closer to the meet, it's going to be lower. It's going to be higher rep ranges, and then on max effort day, and then we try to get lower. And then for squatting, we're going to pause squat a lot more in the off season. We might tempo squat more in the off season for max effort and stuff like that, because I want them to be able to be reactionary when we get closer to the meet. I want to be faster around the meet, but we want to slow down and try and build some strength. For me personally, I'm probably going to do a little bit more outlandish type of stuff that might be fun versus like, you're not going to see me do straight weight safety squat bar box squats.
Ew. That sounds awful.
Yeah, you're not going to see me doing that in my briefs in the off season. You're going to see me, maybe doing a forward band or something like that, where I'm trying to bring up certain areas of my squat, or, whatever I see, whatever, like, when I get done with a meet, I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to talk to my training partners. I'm going to talk to people that look at me the most. I'm going to talk to people that see me the most. I'm going to talk to Chris. I'm going to talk to Leah. I'm going to talk to David. I'm going to talk to Mikey, and I'm going to go, okay, well, this is what we see. This is what I need to address. And then that's where my off season is going to be. But as far as training, it doesn't change a ton. I will try to do more GPP stuff. But if you're, the notion of if you let yourself get out of shape around a meet, that's when you're going to get hurt. So you probably don't want to do that. You need to be doing GPP all the way up to the meet. You need to be doing hard accessory work all the way up to the meet. You need to be bringing up your weaknesses all the way up to the meet. But it's going to be structured a little bit more for building in the off season and peaking and being at your best as we kind of transition to the meet. It's kind of the way that I look at it. But if you walk in the gym on a Sunday, to the naked eye, you're not going to see me do anything different, or my group do anything different. We do the same stuff. We may pause squat or tempo squat or do stuff like that a little bit more. So that's kind of how we look at it. So I think as a raw lifter, a huge mistake is, as you get closer to where you're best, I think you can spend way too much time doing reps. And, if you're for sake of this, if you're 50% of what you can be strongest, like if you're only operating at 50% of what the best you is,
Mm-hmm.
you can go squat 6-8 reps and do that weekly and push your max up. If you're at 90% of your best, you need to be doing more singles. you need to be doing things more that prime your CNS to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it kind of depends on where you are in your journey as well. Like if you haven't built a ton of muscle, then doing reps are going to be good for you because you need to build muscle. You need to build that intermuscular endurance. You need to build that intermuscular connectivity. You need to build that motor unit recruitment, and you need to be a stronger human being. But if you're competing at the WPO, chances are your weakness is not muscles. You know, if you're competing at the I know you're not competing at the WPO, but my point is if you're at the top of the sport, then I think, you know, some of your training needs to be a little bit more geared towards specificity.
Yes.
I think.
100%.
I'm kind of different. I'm kind of different with that. Like, I think you need more time under the straight bar at the beginning of your career, you know, but back in the day, man, like all of us, we came up doing 5-3-1 or what have you. You know what I mean? We were doing stuff like that, you know, or Juggernaut. I remember you ran Juggernaut, and we got a ton of volume in, and we got bigger and stronger because of that. And then, like, you kind of transitioned to a more specific program. You know, and I think that's important, because if I went and took 50% of my max gear squat and did 3 sets of 8, I'm not getting much out of that. But somebody who is at the beginning of the sport, they might, you know what I mean? So it might look different based on where you're at. And that all
100%.
looks different based on the difference. You know, I've got clients who don't touch a barbell for 2 months and come back and get stronger. You know what I mean? But that's just the way that they operate. So it really, and it depends on people too. Like, there's a mental aspect of it too. And some people, if they cannot put a bar on their back and see how strong they are this week, they freak out.
Yes.
You know, I'm
100%.
one of them. I'm one of them. So, like, some people have a really hard time just trusting, you know, if I keep doing these dumbbell benches, my bench is going to go up. Like, and then they pick up 225 and it feels heavy, and they're like, nope, I need to be, you know what I mean? So you need to factor stuff like that into. So.
No, absolutely. And I think that the biggest takeaway is that it's always going to be dependent on each person and where each person is in their training
journey
career, their training journey, their training career, because that's really what's going to matter, in my opinion. You know, things that I did 20 years ago, I wouldn't even remotely think about doing now, right? But
that's right.
Things that I do now, I wouldn't even remotely think about even attempting 20 years ago, right? So
that's exactly right.
It's definitely different, and I know we're definitely off where the original question went, but I also don't.
No, I think
it's our podcast.
I think that's our.
And it's our podcast, and we can do whatever we want. So.
No, I think that's our question. Just how do you feel about off season? I mean, and I know you, like, you're going to focus on different stuff when you're not leading up to a meet. Like, you don't have a plan for 10 weeks out, but you're doing around the same stuff for the last 10 weeks, any meet that you do, last 8 weeks, last 6 weeks. Like, you're doing similar.
I mean, my last, but this has been true as of, I want to say, since 2020. So the last, call it 2 years, that my training only differs inside the last 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And it can be even less than that if I feel like doing another
more
meet, right? But
box squatting, more box. Another thing you do, way more box squatting, way less full gear squatting. You know, you're going to take you're not going to go raw, but you're going to take some gear off. You're just going to pull in power pants. You're just going to squat in your briefs.
Right.
You're going to be in your shirt a little less. You might be in the slingshot a little bit more. You know,
what
you're doing is you're preparing yourself.
It's still gear. I'm a geared lifter. I'm not a raw lifter.
That's right.
Right. I've never claimed to be a raw lifter. Do I train raw? Yes, because there is some carryover. But I am a geared lifter, so I need to make sure that I am the strongest in my gear, right? And that I'm building towards goals in my gear.
Yeah, and you need to be better. You need to be better when you put your gear back on, and you need to be ready.
Right, 100%. But again, that's, you know, maybe not benching in a shirt, benching in a slingshot. Maybe it's just it's squatting in, you know, the briefs that you pull in, because those briefs should be bigger than the briefs that you squat in, right? So you're still getting stronger, you're still getting work in, but it's the same type programming. Like the goal of the program, or the goal of the day, doesn't change.
The naked eye, it's not, your training's not going to look different. Neither is mine. But there is an off season. There is something that you're going to do differently.
Things are done differently, but I don't. And maybe the question was, you know, was your training different, or do you have an off season? Because I don't think I would.
Well, I think off season people think like I'm going to put the gear in a suitcase
Right,
somewhere,
and that's why
I'm just going
I
to go in there and do a
prefaced
bunch of
it.
close stance raw
That's
stuff,
why
and
I
that's not
prefaced
what
it
we
with
believe in.
that's not it at all whatsoever.
But
So in that
what I think we
idea
did a
of
good
off
job of
season,
is talking about what an off season is to
yes,
you and what an off season is to me.
correct,
And it might be different than other people, but it is, like I know like Laura's people like that, they do a ton of conventional deadlifting in the off season. You know what I mean? And you probably do too. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of things that it's just for me, I'm not proficient enough in my gear. I always like to have my gear on.
yes. And where I look at it is I'm gonna try and stay not hurt with my gear on.
And you're also like the same as me, man. Like you're always pretty close to ready to hop in gear and do a meet. Like
yes.
If somebody said, hey, there's a meet in 4 weeks, and I'm always ready to do that. I'm always ready. Like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll get a touch this week. I'll find an opener, and I'm ready. Like
that's it. But that I think that comes with training to always be 6 weeks out.
Yeah, and that's the Louis thing.
Yeah,
you're always at 90%. Like we can always hit the gas pedal and go.
Yeah, but that's that comes with all the things that we talk about: good programming, making sure that we're doing things smart,
being
making sure
healthy,
that we're deloading, being healthy.
And it's gotta your shit's gotta be duplicatable, man. You cannot just like if you're one of these guys that just wrecks yourself for 10 weeks going into a meet and you got to recover, like that's not how you're going to be your strongest in 5 years.
No, because most of the time those people who do that, they're not around in 5 years.
That's exactly right.
Look at the people who do that to themselves for over and over and over for an extended period of time, and look at how long their career have lasted. And maybe they were really good, but
yeah, but how much better could they?
How much better could they have been if they had a 7-year career as opposed to a 3-year career? Things like that. And that's where we'll say until next week. Next week's State of the Union. We'll be back.
Send some questions.
Send some questions. Even though I'm shadow banned, send Andy questions if you have to. I don't. I'm shadow banned on Instagram, in case anyone was wondering. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out. We will be back next week. Thanks to BCB Training Systems, to Go Hard Barbell, and to Wicked Wolf Beard Co.
Thanks.
Bye, pal.
All right, love you, bud.
Love you, bud.